Peace, family. So we back with another one. Today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how the enemy, the people going against us, do not have any regrets. They don't have any regrets in life. They don't have any regrets in their actions as far as how they've been treating and operating around us and towards us. We got to understand that when we are out here dealing with these people who use this demonic playbook, regret and remorse are things that they do not even try to comprehend. And when it tries to seep in through their pores, they're very good at pushing it to the side, brushing it off, just acting as if it's non-existent. But for a lot of us, that's how we've grown. That's how we've learned a lot of knowledge, information that we've come across was through our being able to reflect and take accountability for some of our actions, and even taking accountability for other people's actions, because we always understand that we play some kind of role in the things that's happening around us in our lives. But understanding that these people live with no regret. They will spit on you, spit in your food, and carry it on as if they've never done anything in that manner. I done ran into a lot of this throughout my life, but it becomes a lot easier understanding these things once you've dealt with it and engaged with it for a while. And then once you've already experienced the worst of the worst hurts that you can possibly experience with trying to quote unquote forgive someone. See, forgiveness starts with self. I've always felt that way, that okay, I can forgive me, but forgiving you is something that's always been difficult for me. But I've been having some more engagements with my BM just due to my daughter's schooling, and then us having to pretend co-parent, because we do not co-parent at all. This motherfucker wants to be a man, I'm a man, it's never going to work. It only can be one lead in an organization or a group. Any sports you play, they have a captain, a team leader. Any large group that you in, it's always someone that's at the head. But I realized, me and my BM don't engage in those kinds of manners anymore. But for some reason, it don't matter how much evil stuff this person does, they still feel as though they can communicate and engage with me as if what they didn't have any effect. I'm not going to say that it hurt me. I just want to say that it didn't have any effect. And of course it has an effect. Some things is just a natural reaction. It's kind of like when a doctor hits your knee, bong. First thing you realize is that you have no control over your nervous system when it's responding to being hit. I've experienced a lot of weird stuff, and I know a lot of us have experienced a lot of weird stuff with the people around us. And they show back up, or they'll reach back into our space and they'll communicate and engage as if what they did had no real effect towards us. Almost like we don't feel like we have no cognitive dissonance to their actions that they had taken against us. A lot of these beings were out here attacking us, and then they used this, oh, well, I was unaware, I didn't know any better, oh, I was young. I hate when people use that statement, I was young. Hate is a strong word, but I hate when people use that terminology. I was young. I've heard people say this all the time, but right now I'm on my BM example. And she used to use this years ago. My BM is over 30 now and still using the same excuse. And then my world is like, when you say these things, oh, I was young, I was 20, I didn't have any knowledge and experience. Bitch, you was gaining all of that from me. But in her world, she thinks it's more beneficial for her to go out and sleep around with more guys to gain experience, to get herself into more traumatic situations as experience. And I had to tell her stupid ass that I don't want our daughter taking the steps, these whorish Western steps that you take, you know? And it's like none of that makes a difference, you know? It's only about what they want, how they want it, and when they want it. And I still have to deal with situations where, you know, she's telling my mini that daddy wanted to get back with her. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, once we separated, I never wanted to get back in that space with you. Ever, ever, ever. I done told her on several occasions, like, yeah, I'm gonna have me a football team. Not gonna be with you. I will never have another seat with you again. And it's still weird stuff in the mix. It's like every time I put myself in a position for my mini to try to communicate and engage and to be nice, we had to do some recent stuff with the school. Why we even started communicating a little bit more outside of what the courts have us communicate. You know what I mean? And it's like she still feel the need to tell my mini that I want to get back with. It's just I don't want to get back with her. It's like lies on top of lies. She's done so much stuff that there is no forgiving. And she's never apologized once for any of my male associates that she slept with. Her favorite statement is, well, they wasn't your friends. Bitch, you wasn't my female either. Like, you take no accountability and you make those statements as if that makes you a better person. It actually makes you worse, because we already understand how easy it is for females to come across or to have sex, and how much work men have to put in to put themselves in that position to access females on that level. And it's really disgusting, you know? It's really disgusting, and it makes me have to work harder at being a better father, a better mentor, a better leader, you know, better in my knowledge and awareness so that I can guide my mini, and that way I have the proper knowledge and information and experience to share with the people around me, so that way they don't find themselves in the same positions or predicaments. You know what I mean? And it's like, she also made a statement like, oh, well, hey, do you want to come over and decorate my house for Halloween? Like, first of all, you don't pay no bills and you're over 30. Your daddy pays all your bills and got you the house, gave you the car, pays your phone, pays for the food, pays for everything. Hell no, I don't want to come over and decorate for Halloween. You know I don't celebrate it. She's like, oh, well, you didn't used to be like this when we met. Bitch, I grown the fuck up. I gained a lot more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I have to tell my mini, like, if I were to partake in that for you, then it would be doing us no justice, because we're still giving the witchy team that energy and vibration that they're looking for. That's how I always understand, like, these people are fully engulfed into these playbooks, and there is no saving them. It's no help for them. These are beings that really have to be left out there in the streets, in isolation. They need to be shadow banned from the digital world. They need to be banned from society. We have to do a better job at removing these vibrations. We have to do a better job at allowing these people to think that what they did was okay. See, we start to take more accountability when you learn how to shame yourself, and when you have to deal with shame from your community. And I just haven't seen any of these people change out of these playbooks, you know. I got other examples I could use, but y'all know I like to spread it out. I'll use recent ones or my life and my history that I'm going through currently, you know what I mean? But if regret was something that they held on to, or something that they was able to acknowledge, they would be in a position to where they are and have to take more accountability. And we already understand accountability is not a part of their playbook whatsoever. They don't know how to process or fathom accountability. For you to tell me that, oh, they wasn't really my friends, it shows me how evil you are, because it's really disgusting as you being the mother of my child. And I want to say she started whoring around basically as soon as my daughter was born and she was able to start doing her own thing again. But I just kept thinking how disgusting, how nasty she is. Like, I don't, even to this day, like, I don't care how pretty you are on the outside. If you look like Freddy Krueger, if you smell like horse manure on the inside, I don't want no more parts of it. You know, that was one that slithered in the door 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That would never happen again. Ever, 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 ever. I'm way too aware. I am way too purpose driven. And I have way too much to fight for and to lose at the same time. So these are things that I just could never see myself doing or putting myself back in those positions again. And for most of them, even the ones outside of my BM, you don't really get too many genuine apologies. So it makes no sense or difference into looking to apologies or somebody to be sorry or empathetic or sympathetic to the way that they treated you or the circumstances that they tried to put you in. Because sometimes they try to do shit and it doesn't work. Sometimes they try to do shit and it doesn't work. It doesn't have no effect on us, but it's still somebody doing it. It's kind of like you had 2 meals, somebody knocks 1 meal on the ground, you cannot eat that meal. It don't really make that much of a difference because you got a whole nother meal. It's the same thing, so it's not really stopping you from being able to replenish your body. We gotta keep these things in mind when we out here dealing with the opposition and we have these weird situations going on to where you are allowing people back around in your space or you are forced to engage with people. Some of us have people that we work with that are very disgusting and unregretful people, you know. So it may not be a BM for you. It may be a coworker. It may not be a baby daddy. It may be somebody at the office, you know, somebody in the field that you're working in. And because you haven't changed plantations, you are still in a position to where you have to kind of work with them, communicate with them. Y'all still share the same proximity, you know. And you gotta understand, like, when people do these things, and their first instance isn't to apologize, you know, these are things that people have been doing for a long time. I had one male associate, we were all doing something. It was like a bunch of the guys doing something in the digital world. And he was like trying to coach everybody. Like, he said something to like 2 or 3 different people. And nobody had really addressed him. And then he had started doing some weird stuff, and I said something to him, but everybody was still around when I said something to him. And he didn't want to hear it. Nobody told him to shut the fuck up when he was talking. Soon as I start getting on his head top, the first thing he want to do is say, shut the fuck up. As a man, that doesn't bother me. You could tell me to shut the fuck up. I could tell you to shut the fuck up. That doesn't bother me. It's this new generation who like to make these weird gay-ass statements. I'm a grown-ass man. Even when I was growing up, we didn't play around with that gay stuff. You know what I mean? We'd never tell a man to suck anything on us because that's gay. We never did that. Unless you're really in that field and you want people to do that, you don't do that. Anywhere else in real lifetime, that's fighting words. You subject to get swiped left on. You will be unalived for telling people, especially real men, to do these things. And, you know, when he made that statement, it was digitally. So I couldn't really get aggressive with him. I just told him, like, bro, you on some gay shit. I ain't even got shit else to say to you. I'm going to put you on mute. You know what I mean? Because when we just arguing or debating back and forth, that's fine. When lines is crossed, hell nah. Because in real life, I would have put my hands on you. Real life, you would have never said those things to me. But because we're in a digital world, you feel like it's okay to say those things. When he said it, nobody laughed. Because this is that new young generation. I don't know where these new young boys get this suck my wood type thing. Like, that is some weird ass shit to say. Like, if I make threats, I'm making threats that is something that I will do. Keep talking if you want to, I'm gonna punch you in your face. Or keep talking if you want to, I'll come slap that out your hand. Keep talking if you want to, I'll come ram your car. Like, I'll think of things that I'll actually do in real life. I won't just blurt stuff out and then assume that it's cool or people will co-sign it or agree with it. And that's what he did. And then after we all got off of the digital world, it was like 5 of us. After we all got out of there, he gonna message me like, do we got a problem? Bitch, I ain't got no response because clearly I'm a grown-ass man and you don't talk to other grown men like that. I got other buddies. Matter of fact, I had one associate that was on the line with us, and me and him done had many back and forths, but we never disrespected each other to that point. We don't even tell each other to shut the fuck up. We'll argue and go back and forth, but we know how to do it without disrespecting each other to the point to where the bridge is burnt and it's done. You know what I mean? Because we men, so I expect him to poke his chest out a little bit. He already know I'm going to poke my chest out a little bit too. You know what I mean? But when they cross certain lines, you have to take some action. It's mandatory. And the next day, he tried to add me into the group. And I didn't even go into the group. I didn't have a response for it because I knew the next time I go into the group, he's going to have to apologize in front of everybody. If he's not going to apologize in front of everybody, then I just won't engage and deal with him. Because it's really no point of me even engaging with him outside of the other pairs that I do, you know, I do vibe with them. But outside of that, I would never put myself in that space again, you know. It's just no regret. You going to message me and say, do we have a problem, instead of saying, my bad for saying that gay stuff or for being weird or for being that disrespectful. These are people who never been in any real physical altercations. You know, when you've been in real physical altercations in real life, you understand the lengths that people are willing to go to. And I've been in a lot of physical altercations in real lifetime, you know, weapons and no weapons. So that's just something that I don't condone and I will never co-sign, you know. And him and my BM go to the same space. If they was either apologetic for their actions, that's the first thing they would have done when they communicated with me. But that's not what was given, was an apology. You know what I mean? They don't feel any remorse. They don't feel any regret whatsoever. These people are going to be in these spaces for a long time. They're going to continue to be in these spaces. A lot of beings haven't had any physical harm done to them, so they are okay with saying words here, hurting people, trying to, and then knowing that they won't have any consequences for what they're saying. What you saying, what you do, there are consequences when you're dealing with the right ones. Dealing with the right ones, you're gonna have consequences and repercussions, you know what I mean? But I ain't wanna run it up too long. These beings are not remorseful. They do not live in regret. These are things that they've done to other people, and they will continue to do more until other people show them otherwise. They come in my space, I'm a checkpoint, check marker. My BM gotta live with the fact that she got a baby daddy or the father of her child will always hold her ass accountable anytime I talk to her. My daughter, anytime she looks at my daughter, she sees me. My daughter operates like similar to daddy, but in her feminine energy. You know, she's gonna have it the hard way, the long way, because soon she won't have even her daughter around to want to engage with her, you know? So they only make life harder for them as they walk this life, you know what I mean? We're not gonna run up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to you.